business development, and digital solutions. Over to you, Mr. Kumar.
Okay, thank you, sir. Can you kindly confirm if my screen is visible and am I audible?
Yes, both
Thank you
are.
so much. So I'll try to be as short as possible, looking into the interest of the time. But first of all, thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to have our say what we think on the topic on various eminent speakers just spoke about. So there are few things where I could notice that many of the concerns, rather many of the opinions are moving towards in the direction of sustainability, moving towards in a direction of having a compact switchgear, and also how much benefit we can bring to the environment when it comes to electrical switchgear fraternity as a whole. So what I will do here, with the help of a conceptual, or rather with the help of a particular solution or a product, I'll try to explain that how as ABB we are trying to think in that direction, and also doing the efforts in leaps and bounds that how we can actually move ahead in the direction of providing a sustainable products and solutions to our various customers. So in that direction, I will just introduce one simple product of 12 kV systems. It is what I'm presenting to you is a new generation 12 kV gas insulated switchgear, because as at the start itself it is spoken, and we can all see that the from the switchgear industry side we are trying to move from an air insulated switchgear towards a gas insulated switchgear. Of course, it is much more predominant on the 33 kV side, but then yes, there are many things happening, and many of the utilities are also coming up with the requirement of 11 kV systems. But then it is not only sufficient to have a gas insulated switchgear, but I think the most important part of here what we should look at is what we are using as a insulating medium inside. Predominantly more than 99% is SF6, rather 99.99%. But as ABB, we have been trying to develop a few products in that direction in the last few years, that how we can replace SF6 with something which is much more environmental friendly. And this particular product, what you are seeing, is a step in that direction, that ABB has been able to bring about or develop a gas insulated switchgear, which is able to work with SF6 and also with dry air. Right, so this is a product which can interchange the insulating medium either right at the start, if one buys it, or probably during the let's say service time of a switchgear. Changing the insulating gas does not change the service life of a switchgear. So it was 40 years earlier, it would continue to be that way. So this has been a very important, I would say, stepping stone from ABB in terms of the products and solutions development, how we are seeing the future going forward, because it's only a matter of time once people would realize to an extent that they can no longer avoid bringing a resolution which is probably trying to promote something which is an alternate to SF6. But then, as I would also request to the eminent people in the forum, because you all guys are very important people trying to shape up the electrical industry in India going forward. I think it needs to move in both directions. In one of the direction, let's say as a manufacturers who are taking sort of a proactive step in trying to bring something which is much more environmental friendly, but at the same time, also make in India philosophy needs to be followed. So what we are trying to do here in ABB is we are trying to do everything in India. What I'm showing it to you as a picture is something which is done in our factory. But another step needs to be, as you also spoken about the various speaker, another step also needs to be taken by the government or the forthcoming utilities to try and experiment with these ideas. Because once we have any new technology in place, it's not, I would say it's not 100% true to form an opinion about the product unless you start using it and try to experience it. That's how the technology acceptance moves forward as we go along the years. So it needs to happen in both directions, and which we as a manufacturer are confident that in India we have very forthcoming utilities who are ready to employ new technologies, and at the same time trying to solve their own issues, and also trying to help the environment. I just show you very quick glimpses, but I would also request the audience not to relate 100% to this particular product, but this is something which ABB continues to work as a concept. What you are seeing here is, I am showing it to you, is a Make in India product, but then ABB also has a lot of, I would say, SF6 free product in the global portfolio once we go outside India. This particular GIS uses a single tank where you have only circuit breaker, but the bus bars are taken outside the gas tank. So you can access the bus bar in case you want to, but this bus bar are touch proof. The surface potential of this particular bus bars is at 0. So it is accidentally touch proof bus bars, and also it gives you a very flexible maintainability. So the GIS technology is changing. We definitely see it changing in coming years because of the greater thrust on the environmental protection getting given by eminent leaders of India, and that is going to shape up the electrical industry going forward. So as a step in that direction, this is a greener GIS, what we call, because what we are using inside is a dry air. Dry air is nothing, in a very simple term, it's a mixture of oxygen and nitrogen with humidity taken out. So it is as simple as environmental air what we have used. And by doing this, the global warming potential is near to nothing for this particular switchgear, and uh, works perfectly 100% as a normal switchgear would work. Whether so if you compare it with, let's say, conventional GIS, there's no change in terms of overall life cycle of the product and overall serviceability of the product, right? I would also try to bring about a point where 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 you spoke about usage of sensors. So I would also try to touch that point as well, because it is, once we develop this particular product as something which is much more environmental friendly, at the same time compact and be innovative, it was also important to how you can make this switchgear digitally compatible. So I'll also briefly touch on that subject. Sorry, yeah, just give me a moment. The slide seems to be a bit slow. Yeah, so we've been trying to develop, as I said, the alternate to SF6 gas, and we have been working on it for last decade now. And thereafter, we have come to fluoroketones, and then we have come to dry air. So a lot of things we are doing, and we have installation also across the globe. Then we have this. It is also done at dielectric insulation at 1 bar, because our GIS are so designed that even if the SF6 leaks, you need not switch off the GIS. The GIS is very much capable to run at 1 bar pressure. That has been a feature of our gas insulated switchgear as whole. We also give, because GIS is a maintenance free product, but then you can also have a repair opening in case something happens, because products are always designed to handle the worst circumstances. But then yes, as a design feature, this is also available. Once we have taken the bus outside the switchgear, then we can take any intermediate panel. Now I come to the sensor topic, as it was also touched upon, that how we are bringing the sensor technology and what is the how the future is going to look like. Yes, we have the sensors available which can work with a switchgear. Those are forming the basis of smart automation and control and monitoring and diagnostics feature of those switchgear, because these days a lot of thought process is getting driven towards the idea of having preventive and predictive maintenance, or rather condition based maintenance, to be true. So one thing what we have done is replacing the conventional current and voltage transformers with current and voltage sensors. The conventional current and voltage transformers, yes, we have been using them for decades now, and they are doing their work. But there are some potential disadvantages, as CT sometimes fail because of saturation, VT sometimes fails because of error resonance, and then these are fixed to a certain ratios. What we have done here, that we have a current sensor which is based on Rogowski coil principle, and then we have a voltage sensor which is based on RVD, that is resistive voltage divider principle. Now with these sensors in place, they can very well work as the conventional current and voltage transformers. And we have also done a typical, a sort of saving analysis in terms of giving a commercial nature to it. So we have compared, a similar 14 panel board which are using sensors, and a 14 panel board which are using, let's say, conventional current and voltage transformers. And over 30 years of lifetime, they end up, saving approximately 15 to 20 lakhs for a customer, only for a 14 panel board, because they practically do not have any windings, so they do not have any energy loss aspect to it. That was from the sensor side, and also adding few more, I would say, components towards having the monitoring and diagnostics feature capability. So we have a gas density sensor. We have We have some circuit breaker and VI electrical life sensors in place. We have environmental sensors. We have temperature sensors. All these can be wired through an RS485 to our gateway. And through this, we can have a visualization either on a local HMI, or we can take it to cloud. We can view through our, I would say, handheld devices as well. So it's important to have an innovative product, as someone said very rightly at the start, that once and I could get the information from it, that once you are speaking about innovation, it has to be holistic. It has to have all the basic product features into place, and at the same time giving you much more efficient, much more maintenance free, and also our digitalized switchgear going forward into the future. So this was just the topic what I want to touch with help of this particular product. So yes, that's it from my side. Thank you so much.